All right, folks, welcome to June. We were going to title this session Debt Ceiling Deal with the Devil, but I thought that might offend somebody. I might get in trouble. So we just called this one USD Death Confirmed by Debt Ceiling Deal. We're going to get right on into it, folks. June 1st, 2023. Is this the settlement month? Uh-oh. 26,919 for your Bitcoin, 1863 for your Ethereum, and a 50-cent XRP. Let's check the sticks. Support above 50 cents being found. Love to see it. Do I feel good about this? I feel good about this case. I feel like the case is over. I feel like the terms are already done. We're just waiting on the announcement to be given to us, okay? Seeing XRP above 50 cents, seeing it move without the rest of the space, further confirmation that XRP is in its own reality, but the macro setup here is still not good. And so I don't feel, good about the rest of the space really sending it until we get through this debt ceiling drama. And we also have to see the Fed pivot. So we're going to break it down in this episode here today. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, okay? So let's take a look here. What we're looking at right now is a debt ceiling deal bill that passes the House, advances to the Senate, days ahead of a default deadline, or what some were calling the X day. The House passed the debt ceiling bill Wednesday night, days before the U.S. is projected to run out of money to pay its bills. The Fiscal Responsibility Act is the result of a deal between House Speaker McCarthy and President Joe Biden. Chuck Schumer said the Senate will do everything we can to move the bill quickly. So now it's moving to the Senate, and I think we're going to get the vote on that today. So let's watch this one here. We're going to see the debt ceiling drama continue. And like I said, this is the death of the U.S. dollar confirmed. Let's break it down. With the passing of the debt ceiling bill, the debt ceiling is effectively unlimited until 2025. This is the equivalent of a person coming days away from defaulting on their credit card debt. Then right before they default, the credit card company decides to give them unlimited credit for 1.5 years. The only condition is that they must cut 0.2% of their discretionary spending. And then in 1.5 years from now, the same debate and outcome will arise. This is the 79th time this scenario has happened for the U.S. government since 1960. We have a debt problem. We absolutely do. It is absolutely a terrible deal. And that's why I wanted to play this clip right here from Chip Roy speaking in Congress yesterday. And he gives us his thoughts on this debt ceiling deal with the devil. And I'm just going to let Chip Roy take it away from here. Now, remember, I'm not political. I just asked, is the program working? Is it failing? Is the average American citizen going to win by this deal getting passed? And it's a definite no. Our children's future is being sold out, and the death of the dollar is all but confirmed here with this deal getting passed. Let's take a listen here. Chip Roy speaking in Congress yesterday.
Friend, distinguished member of the Rules Committee from Texas, Mr. Roy.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank the Speaker. I thank the Chairman, the gentleman from Oklahoma, who is a gentleman, giving me time despite the fact I voted against the rule in the Rules Committee. I respect that. I respect it immensely so that we can have a full and open debate here on the floor of the House. I listened to the gentleman from Massachusetts wax on, talking about governing. Well, we don't govern, Mr. McGovern. We represent. That's what we're supposed to do anyway, is represent the people of this country. Fed up with a government that is now 40% bigger since the beginning of COVID. A government barreling towards $36 trillion of debt and an absolute devastating burden on the future of this country, on our children and our grandchildren, who are not going to be able to afford homes, not be able to afford to go to school, not be able to afford food, groceries. Talk about food programs. I don't hear a whole hell of a lot about what we're doing to devastate American families with rampant inflation because we keep spending money we don't have. To my colleagues on this side of the aisle, my beef isn't that I don't understand the struggle with the negotiators against that kind of reasoning. My beef is that you cut a deal that shouldn't have been cut. The fact is, at best, we have a 2-year spending freeze that's full of loopholes and gimmicks that would allow for increased funding for the federal bureaucracy in order to achieve a $4 trillion increase in the debt by January 1 of 2025. $4 trillion. We have permitting reform, which might have some good elements in it, But the problem is you have the Biden administration saying it accelerate implementation of the historic clean energy and environmental justice investments in the Inflation Reduction Act, the very policies destroying the American way of life and making them unable to afford energy and afford their food. We have watered down work requirements. The CBO just said will actually increase the cost of SNAP by $2 billion. A supposed 1% automatic top line reduction in spending at the end of the year that will actually make a Christmas omnibus more likely. A 2% cut to Biden's $80 billion IRS expansion. 2% of that $80 billion expansion. Administrative pay-go, I'm told. We're not going to do the REINS Act. We're not going to constrain the regulatory state. We're going to do a waivable administrative pay-go. Great. We'll pass a bill next week. Yay us. It'll die in the Senate. Why aren't we using this leverage? A complete punt to SCOTUS on the Biden administration's unfair $500 billion student loan bailout, billions in COVID dollars left untouched to fund things like vaccines and COVID-19 testing, and the loss of our biggest leverage points to force Biden to actually secure the southern border. I encourage my colleagues to vote no on the rule and to oppose this legislation. I yield back.
Gentleman reserves. The gentleman.
God bless him. God bless him, Chip Roy. We appreciate that. We appreciate those comments because what we get in this deal is another $4 trillion increase in debt. Now recall, just in 2020 alone, we printed $3.3 trillion. Since this time, we've printed about $4 trillion total. And at this point, it's just going to be us waiting till the next crisis to where they inject even more money. They're going to have to. This is where all roads lead to. It leads to inevitable default and or rapid inflation, money printing, borderline hyperinflation potential before we get to that inevitable default. Now, what you guys are seeing right here too is going to compound. What is taking place is going to compound. Take a look here from the Cabesi letter. It has now been 3 years since the U.S. started printing $4 trillion in stimulus and lowered rates to 0% overnight. We are still dealing with 23 straight months of inflation at 5% plus in the fastest rising rates in history. Not to mention we have added $8 trillion in U.S. debt since 2020, by far the biggest 3-year jump in history. Free money from stimulus will go down as the most costly handout of all time. Inflation is the biggest involuntary tax in the world. This is designed to kill us, guys. This is death by 1,000 cuts. Inflation, the largest involuntary tax there is. And then you add on student loan repayments are about to begin again on August 1st after 3 years of being able to skip without penalty. 40 million people paying an average of nearly $400 per month will be pulled from the economy and discretionary spending. Should be interesting to see how this plays out. And then you add the fact, and this is the mockery of the American people. This is when I say they're not our friend, and that this is a deal with the devil. This is designed to destroy the dollar. This is designed to destroy our way of living, our opportunity in this country. This is what I'm talking about, the mockery. The U.S. is announcing an additional $300 million aid package for Ukraine. While we're debating the bill getting signed, we're going to send another $300 million. We're losing track of how much we're sending over there. $300 million aid package for Ukraine. Well, 300 million compared to the trillions we're going to add, I guess isn't too bad, right? Just send it, might as well. And then we move on over here, Cabesi letter. We finally just officially crossed 1 trillion in credit card debt for the first time in history. How do you think this story ends, folks? And now these folks that have racked up the largest, most credit card debt in our history are now going to have to pay their student loan debt as well. This comes as the average interest rate on credit card debt have hit a record high of 25%. And talk about getting killed. 25% on your interest. The average American family now holds $10,000 in credit card debt, another record. Nearly 40% of Americans have more credit card debt than savings. Americans continue to fight inflation with credit card debt. That's the only way we are surviving right now. People are putting their regular bills on their credit card just to get by. Not to get their points and get your airline miles, but just to get by. And so when I talk about this being the death of the dollar confirmed, folks, it is there for you. They're saying, right, uncapped minimum, we're going to raise the debt by another $4 trillion just over the next year and a half. Think about all the other programs that are going to get funded. Think about them getting allowed to push their agenda through for another year and a half. Where that's going to take us, that's going to take us to a rough spot socially, politically, culturally. the destruction of every great values that we've ever had in this country. But then look at the economic and the monetary policy, what that's going to do to our dollar. It's over, guys. We are through. This is done. Nobody can afford anything anymore. We're putting our food on our credit card bills just to get by. We passed $1 trillion in credit card debt for the first time in history. And apparently this is just a culture of racking up the debt here in America because no one's even blinking at the fact that we're going to add another $4 trillion minimum. Could be more. Probably should be. We should probably send some more to some of these other countries, to some of these other woke programs. And like I've always said, it doesn't matter if you want to support that country, this cause. You want everyone to get a handout. We are broken, bust, and done. We are finished. We are dead. On the world stage, we are through. No one respects us anymore. They are laughing at us. And the people running our country are making a mockery of us, sending another Billy overseas. It's a joke. Until the rubber meets the road, and that's where the middle class gets wiped out. And this is why we've been coming for 2 years dropping content with such a sense of urgency. So much more than just, hey, let's pump our XRP coin. Let's save this damn country from these devils. Call them what you want, you know? I wanted to title this one, Debt Ceiling Deal with the Devil, because that is what this is. Not only are we going broke, these people are inverting and flipping every good thing that we had going in this country upside down. Now, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? We vote with our damn money, okay? So we stop giving money to them. We start moving our money into real assets, real money, real currency, and real value. That's going to be your silver. That's going to be your XRP. That's going to be other cryptocurrencies. And you, along with the smart money, are not playing around. You guys are draining the vaults, not only in our community, but we're seeing it at the COMEX too. COMEX registered silver inventory is crashing, down 1.72 million ounces or over 6% in a single day. Silver is about to go crazy, folks. The writing is on the wall. The smart money sees it. We see it. They've completely flipped our reality upside down. What's right is wrong, and everything here that was pure in this country, the opportunity that we had, the currency, the reserve currency role that we had is done. It's finished. It's through. We're on life support. And this deal puts the nail in the coffin over the next year and a half of an agenda that's going to get all the funding that it wants. The other side of the aisle, the conservative Republicans, continue to sell out, bend over, and take it, and now they have no leverage. You know, they talk about how, oh, there's some good things in this deal, so I'm going to have to support this. Bullshit. And excuse my language, but this is bullshit. No. Another $4 trillion added onto our debt when we have over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Nothing good is coming of this. The only good that's going to come of this is for folks like you and me that understand what's taking place. We sit with our cash on the sidelines. We keep building real businesses, and we are going to buy the blood in the streets. The unfortunate part is that it's going to be our common men and women of this country that are having to turn the key on their business, having to sell their real estate, their equity stripped while their 401ks get drained. And I'm sorry, I've been sounding the alarm, sounding the trumpet, trying to save as many people as I can, and I'm going to go buy the hell out of the blood in the streets when this happens, when this occurs. We're getting ready to go buy real estate. We're going to go buy more businesses. And I'm trying to save as many as I can. Every single day we're putting out this content to wake up the American people and realize that this is all done by design. These guys are not your friend. I don't even know how to describe what's taking place in DC other than they are doing a deal with the devil, and this will destroy the dollar. So folks, while you still can, we got to make hay while the sun shines, and we got to transfer as much of this fiat funny money that they are printing at scale, at mass, and we got to convert it to real money. And so I'm doing XRP, I'm doing silver, I'm buying 1 ounces, I'm buying 10 ounces. My good friend Andy Shackman just announced another weekly special this week. I forget what it is, but that'll be at my website, zachrector.com. Whether you want to get the metal shipped directly to you, whether you want to roll over your 401k, whether you need to pick up another bag of XRP, the new reserve currency of the new financial system, the rest of the world is leaving us behind. So don't wait around for CNBC and CNN to tell you the dollar's dead. It's done. You guys have heard it here. You guys understand the situation. Don't wait around, though. Don't wait around. Make as much of that damn fiat money as you can and convert as much of it as you can into real assets. Precious metals, cryptocurrencies with utility, real estate that'll cash flow. Buy more businesses. Invest in your business. We got to survive this situation over the next year and a half. It's the final nail in the coffin for the dollar. Everything in this country they're coming for that was once great, that was once an opportunity, that was, going to level the playing field for the opportunity that we had here in this country. They are coming for that. Now, are the good guys going to win? I do believe that the good guys and gals are going to win. But this fight is going to be bloody. This fight is... millions of people are going to get sacrificed. The layoffs are just beginning, and you guys are seeing that right now. As they report record low unemployment. Like I said, everything is flipped upside down in their alternative reality. But if we don't take advantage of this opportunity right now, it's going to be one of the biggest regrets in our lives, I believe. Because first off, like I said, I'm trying to sound the alarm. It hurts me, it pains me to see Main Street turn the key. It pains me to hear stories of family friends losing 20, 30% of their 401k. That pains me. But I'm going to be able to tell my grandkids during the greatest transformation of wealth in world history. Like my mentor, Dan Pena, says, what are you going to tell your kids? We're going to be able to tell them that we ran towards the gunfire and we took out anyone in our way. And we took advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth and world opportunity. And we saved as many people as we could. Right? We pulled as many people up onto the train as we could. After the train had left the station, we pulled as many people as we could until we could no more. And that's what we're going to be able to tell our children. And God willing, we're going to be able to save this country. We're not going to be able to save the dollar. That's already done. Rest in peace. And that's why I say it's up to you and me to make as much of that damn fiat money as possible, convert it into real money, and to take advantage of this opportunity while we still can. While they're still playing around, debating on whether or not we're in a recession, we are running towards the gunfire, taking out everyone in our way. That is the mentality. My energy, folks, has been incredible ever since XRP Vegas and I got to go hang out around the XRP community. It reminded me that our community's winning. We're not waiting around for XRP to moon. Many of us are running the real businesses, are investing in real estate, precious metals, prepping, garden, life, soul. We are real people creating real things and still pressing on. We're not just some profile picture on Twitter waiting for XRP to moon. We're real people. We're building real businesses and we're really doing the deals. So guys, if you're looking to get tapped in at the next level with us in our investment community, that's my Discord group. You head on over to my website. It's ZachRector.com. You can sign up there. But like I said, don't wait around. The vaults are getting drained. 6% of the silver inventory in the COMEX down in one day. That's not a meme. That's not hype. That's draining the vaults. 16.6% in the Shanghai Futures Exchange vaults last week in about a 1 week period. Nearly 20%. Let's just round up to 20%. 1/5 of the supply was drained in a week's time at the Shanghai Futures Exchange Vault. So you're seeing it across the board. Do not wait around because the premiums are going up, right? The dealers are starting to realize this. The supply is going down. I have some more articles that I'm not going to have time to share for you guys in this video on the solar over there in China. They're ramping up the production and the capacity, and it's going to require even more silver. So, folks, the setup is clear, not only for the precious metals to go, but for the US dollar to die. For this country to continue to be flipped upside down. They're going to push something through for the next year and a half to put the final nail in the coffin, and it's up to you to save your family, save your community, and God willing, take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.